All right. I hope that you all are having an amazing day. This is Dr. Cozette. We're going to wait a few more minutes and give people a few more seconds to join us. Let's see. And I am going to take this over to YouTube. How's you guys' day going? Let me get this going. All right, so we are streaming live on YouTube as well. So I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day. We are going to go ahead and get started. I am Dr. Cozette M. White, for those of you who don't know, but I help tax and accounting professionals grow highly profitable firms. And in part of doing so, I also provide a component where I educate you all. I have been building my business for over 20 years, you all. I started this business as a fluke, so to speak. I started my business as a result of walking into my grandmother and asking her if she would assist me doing my income tax return. So that was many moons ago. And so my grandmother told me this. She was like, baby, I need you to go upstairs, get yourself a pen, some paper, and we're going to sit down here at this table and do this tax return together. So it was at that point that I thought I was getting back a whole bunch of money, but I was really getting back nothing. But to me, as a 20-year-old, 19-year-old, I was getting back a sizable amount. So I remember going back to college and telling some of my friends that I did my tax return and I was getting back some money. And that is where it all started. I took some courses in college. My first year out of college, I got that experience of going to work at that 9 to 5 downtown Los Angeles at Unical. And I remember just hating getting up every morning early to be to work and do the same thing month in, month out, month in, month out. I worked in accounting. So I was doing the financial statements, the balance sheets, the account reconciliations, all of that stuff that we do as accountants. That's exactly what I was doing. And so I remember I said, you know what, let me start making myself some extra money. And so I started doing taxes. Now, back then, when I got into the game, I took a course, you guys, at H&R Block. So that's where I got my 60 hours of training some years ago, and I've stayed active as a tax professional ever since. Okay, so today, during this meet and greet, I want to be in a position to ask you guys or share with you guys what it looks like to start a business as a tax professional. And I want you all to ask me whatever questions that you have so that we can get them out the way today. And if you are interested in signing up to take a course, I'm going to share with you just how you can do that. Okay. So starting a business as a tax professional is very lucrative. And when we think about what's going on with our economy today, there are so many professionals out there that are preparing returns. And given the fact that the Internal Revenue Service and Congress continues to make changes to the tax codes on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, it is important that we as professionals, we jump in and we learn how to do taxes. It's going to help you as an individual. You can help your family. You can help some of your colleagues, your friends, and you're making extra money in doing so. A lot of people ask me, well, do I have to have a college degree? No, sorry. You do not have to have a college degree to start doing taxes. Do you have to have experience in accounting? Nope, you do not need to have experience in accounting. What you do need is to be in a position to take a course, learn the tax codes, work in an environment that's ethical, moral, know how to work with customers, customer service, whether you're working virtually or through a brick and mortar. But I'm going to say it's to your advantage to work virtually and be able to just be in a position to read and make sound judgments and be able to analyze things, analyze, the pros and cons, what's beneficial and what's non-beneficial, and be able to determine based upon the Internal Revenue codes what's ordinary and necessary as an expense. Some things are just black and white. Other things, it recalls that we make judgment decisions as to how it's going to benefit our clients. And the last thing we want to make sure that we're doing when we're deciding, and when I say anyone can do taxes, is just making sure you are keeping your clients off the radar for any audits. Okay. I was on a call today and we were talking about educating our tax professionals and how some of our professionals need more training than others. And we were saying that the training that they need, number one, is of course the education. Number two is the marketing. And number three is how to audit returns. There are a high number of audits that go on in the states. I'm going to say the states, there's more states than others. And to be quite frankly, we're talking about our states in the South. We're talking our Alabama, our Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Atlanta, those states. There's more tax preparers being audited. I can tell you my theory, and they can tell you their theory. But my theory is in those areas where we have a large population of African American preparers, several of them fail to take the courses that are needed to position them to prepare returns correctly that are audit proof. I'm big on education. I'm big on empowering, inspiring, and educating. I am big on educating. So it is my responsibility to reach back and pull the next person forward and make sure that they have the skills ready to, do a tax return. If taxes are stressful for consumers, if you think about the average person, they are afraid of the Internal Revenue Service and they want all the I's dotted and the T's crossed so that everything is correct, because the last thing they want is a notice to arrive in their mailbox stating that they need to provide the Internal Revenue Service with additional information. They're being audited. The state, they're being audited. Why? As a result that some tax preparer did due to lack of judgment, lack of knowledge, and put information in a return that flagged their return. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not always the preparer's mistake. Sometimes it's just a return is audited and those type of things happen. Okay. So what does it look like in this awesome career as a tax professional? It must look good because I've been doing it for 20 years, right? Longer than 20 years, to be honest. But I've been doing it legally, licensed, and you name it, professionally for 20 years. And so it's a very lucrative position, you all, a very lucrative career. Let's put it like that. You can work it part-time or you can work it full-time. Working at part-time, if we think about it, let's do some math, let's do some numbers, play with some numbers here. If you did a Google search right now, you would find that the average tax return across the nation is somewhere in the ballpark of $250 to $300. So let's do some simple math. If you did 3 returns, and let's bump that up. Let's say if you did 5 returns per week, 5 returns, there's 12 weeks in the tax season. Let's say extended like they did last year and they did this year. So I'm pulling out my cell phone because I'm gonna do some math with you guys. So if you did, let me get my calculator out. I said if you did 5 returns times $300 a week, that's $1,500 per week. $1,500 per week, and that's on the low end. If we multiply that by 12 weeks, That's $18,000 of additional or residual income that you could be bringing into your family. So I did that on the really, really low scale. I said 3 per week. Now let's bump that up to say 10 per week. And that's light for me. So if we did 10 returns per week at $300, that's $3,000, right? Multiply that by 12 weeks, that's $36,000 during tax season over a 12-week period. Now, bear in mind, I don't know about you, but I know what my salary was when I left corporate America. And in order for me to surpass my salary when I left corporate America, I had to work with the numbers. So I want you to think about, what would it look like for you to bring in an extra $18,000 in 4 months? What would it look like for you to bring in an additional $36,000 or more in a 12-week period, 4 months? These are on the low end, you all. For me, for my office, just for my business alone, we do 6-figure quarters. Every single quarter, we are exceeding doing 6 figures or higher. So that gives you a rough ballpark estimate. If we just left it at 100K and I gave you $300 on the low end, what we're doing in our office. So I'm sharing these numbers with you to just give you an idea that there's money to be made in this business. But if you're going to be in this business, y'all, you got to do it right. What did I just say? I love to educate, empower, inspire. I don't want anyone that falls under my wings to be out there in the marketplace doing things illegally. So that is why I'm bringing to you guys courses that you can take to jumpstart your business, to get going the correct way. If you're going to do anything right, it's best. If you're going to do anything, it's best to do it right and do it right from jump. Okay. So, what are the benefits of starting a tax business? Of course, I just shared with you the income is a benefit for anyone. If you're making additional income or if you're starting a brand new career, then it's a great opportunity for anyone. The flexibility, you work your business when you want to. If you choose to work your business Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and no other days out of the week, great. If you choose to build your business such that you're working it on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, great. It's up to you. You have the freedom and the flexibility to work this business around your schedule and whatever works for you. If you check my Instagram page yesterday, I did a live on setting boundaries. It's important that you set boundaries, and especially in this industry, because we're talking about money. And money makes people do something different. I'm telling you guys. So in this industry, you must set boundaries with your clients. Okay. We have that freedom, that flexibility, but we have to set those boundaries. When are you going to work? Communication is important. Let your clients know everything up front. That way there's no, oh, I didn't know, wish I coulda, shoulda, how come you didn't tell me, et cetera, et cetera. You guys know all the games that people play. So the skill set. The skill set, you don't have to come in with any particular skill set. You can work this business part-time. You can work this business full-time. You can work this business seasonal, or you can work this business year-round. Either way you choose, there's money to be made in this industry. Okay. Minimal expenses. Let's talk about startup. What does it really look like to start a business as a tax professional? What costs are involved in it? You know, you hear people say it's minimal or no cost. There's cost involved, you guys, so don't believe the hype. But it's very minimal. You want to start this business by, of course, taking the tax course. You need to register with the Internal Revenue Service. You need to also decide which business structure you want. When you start this business, do you want to start as a sole proprietor? I'm not going to tell anyone to start a business as a sole proprietor because the IRS looks at sole proprietors a little different, a lot different than other structures. You have options to do a limited liability corporation. You have opportunities to do an S Corp, a C Corp. It depends on you, where you're growing, what you want to do. As a start, my recommendation to any and everyone would be to set yourself up as a limited liability corporation. Okay, this class or this meet and greet is not going to go into detail on what that looks like, but that's just my recommendation. That's just me. Okay, been doing this for 20 years, so that's just my recommendation. Okay, but set yourself up, make sure that you have the proper license in place that you need for your area. I'm here in California. I reside in California. I'm in my city is Oxnard. They require that we have a license. Every city, every state is a little different. So you need to do your due diligence and determine what is required for where you plan to do business. If you're working out of your home, some cities and states require different licenses. Inspect what you expect, be in the know what's required of you. Okay. So to register with the Internal Revenue Service, you need to have a PTIN. Okay. What is a PTIN? It's just like a social security number, so to speak, but it is a personal taxpayer identification number. It identifies you as the tax preparer on every return that you electronically send to the Internal Revenue Service. It identifies you. So when people are like, they're not going to know that it's me, every return that I send to the Internal Revenue Service, they know that Dr. Cozette White prepared that return. Two ways that they're tracking me. They're tracking me personally by my PTIN. They're tracking my organization by my EFIN. So each of you who's on this meet and greet, if you expect to electronically file returns on behalf of your clients, then you need to go through the Internal Revenue Service to get an EFIN number. That's an electronically, I don't know what it all stands for, but it's an EFIN, to electronically file tax returns. It's an identification number. It identifies your office. So I can have multiple people in my office working under my EFIN, but they must have PTINs, okay? Because the PTIN will say, this return was filed under Dr. Cozette's office. However, the preparer within her office was Gloria, was Michelle, was Jim, was Scott, whomever, okay? So hopefully I made that part clear. You do need to pay for your PTIN, and you do need to pay for different components to get your EFIN. You will need to pay for your fingerprinting, but you don't have to pay to send that information into the IRS. But the fingerprinting, you do need to pay for that. They want to make sure you guys are legal beagles. You don't have 50 million felonies and misdemeanors and all that stuff going on. Why? Because you are electronically sending information to the government. You have access to confidential information, EINs of other corporations, folks' social security numbers, date of birth, bank information. You know, identity theft is high. So they want to make sure that you are legal beagle and you don't have anything going on where you don't fit the bill. Let's put it like that, okay? All right, you can work from home. So you're already at home, so you don't need to add on additional costs. Maybe you might need to go out and buy a computer. Maybe you need a printer. Maybe you need a desk. Those are things that you can write off as a business owner, okay? But minimal cost to start your business. It's not like you have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. You will need to get tax software, so that's an additional cost. And other than that, that's pretty much it. You got to spend cost on marketing. We show you how to utilize the bank products and all of that. Okay, so that's what it looks like to really start the business. I'm giving you just a high level, but I want to get back to this class, okay, because y'all got to get educated before you do any of this. I miss marketing. I think I may have said it, but marketing can be minimal. You want to start your marketing as early as October. Taxpayers don't start thinking about who they're going to go to in January to get their taxes done. They're already thinking throughout the year. They're asking their colleagues, they're asking their family members, their friends, who do you go to get your taxes done? Well, do you like them? Can you refer them? Word of mouth is the best way to acquire a client. So just think about it. Marketing must start 3 months prior to tax season. So we do offer marketing courses as well to get you going so that you are marketing and you are finding out who you need to market to. You guys heard me. I said who you need to market to. And I'm going to say that one more time. Who you need to market to, because you don't need to market to everybody. Think about it. For those of you who are, you watch what's on social media, you watch the news, you watch the paper, you know what happens come the day after Christmas. H&R Block hits and all the other larger conglomerates hit and start doing their advertising for tax services. Then January comes. Everyone on social media begins to start promoting for tax services. But guess what? They're all advertising for tax services. That's it. And so it's a huge pool of tax preparers all advertising for tax services. So I'm going to go back and just rewind what I said. You need to do your marketing and you need to determine who you need to market to. Not just the general public, who, okay? Just park that right there, write that on the sheet of paper and think about that, because I'm gonna bring that up a little later on, especially if you take my tax course, okay? So what does the tax course look like? The tax course that I offer is 60 hours. We in the state of California are required to complete 60 hours of education, okay? 20 hours are state related and the other is federal related. And I got that right. It's either 45, 15, but we have to complete 60 hours. Okay. The state of California, once we complete our courses, all the information is automatically uploaded to CTEC. CTEC.org is who oversees us here in California. For my other states, you guys only need to complete the 45-hour course. You don't have to complete the 60, but it is beneficial to you, especially if you are going to be global. California requires that we have additional hours. New York requires a different requirement. So why not go ahead and take the 60 hours and be legal beagle and comply with California from the beginning versus getting a notice from Franchise Tax Board saying our records indicate that yada, yada, yada. Okay, you guys get what I'm saying. So it's 60 hours California, 45 hours all other states. We go over everything from dependencies, standard deductions, single, married filing jointly, all of the categories that you can fall into. We prepare you, or I prepare you in such a way so that when you finish your course, you're able to complete an individual tax return, which includes a business return. So let's be very clear. I want to be very clear. And my friends tell me when I say let's be clear, that means I'm serious. So let's be clear. You will be trained on how to prepare a Schedule C, which is a business tax return. A business tax return, Schedule C, will be used for our sole proprietors or our single member limited liability corporations. Okay, I said I wasn't getting into business formation, but what I want you to think about is a limited liability corporation could be a single member or it could be multiple members. If it is multiple members, then they need to do partnership return first. Okay, so I will equip you with what it looks like to do a business return Schedule C. How do we track income? What can we write off as a deduction? Can we write off medical, dental, vision? You know, what does the law state? What about automobile tracking? You know, what about this thing called stimulus payments? What about this new thing where they're giving out the child credit? Those are all key components and things that you need to learn as a professional, because you're going to have clients asking you those questions, and it's expected of you to know in order to have the end result, an audit-free tax return. Okay, so some of the questions that are typically filtered into me: do I teach in all states? The course itself is designed, it is approved by the Internal Revenue Service, and it is approved by CTEC. CTEC is here in California once again. So it is a approved course by the Internal Revenue Service. Therefore, I can teach any student in any state in this course. Why? Because we all have federal returns, and the federal is nationwide. It doesn't, alter from state to state. Okay. So you will be fully equipped with the hours required of you to prepare a return. Okay. You will be fully equipped with the tax codes as they pertain to the personal returns as well as the business return. Okay. When do we start? Summer school starts July 26th. It is an online course, and you have an instructor available to you once a week to go over the homework assignments. We typically assign 3, maybe 4 weeks or 4 chapters of homework each and every week. It is a 10-week course. We track accordingly. So at that 10th week, you're ready to wrap up, take your exam. You got to get at least a 70%. And then you move on to the next phase, which is your marketing. Once I get you into the marketing component of it, I'm preparing you for October, November, and December so that you can determine who you need to be marketing to. Okay. So the cost. That's really important. So we start July 26th. It is a 10-week course. It's an online course. We have an instructor with you every single week, unless, we're doing some traveling or if it's a holiday. Okay. The sessions usually go for about an hour to an hour and a half. If I'm teaching, it's going to go close to an hour and a half because I like to talk. But I'm so big on giving you guys like true, authentic, transparent examples of everything. I give you guys 20 years worth of experience, things I've seen in this industry, sitting before the criminal investigation department with the Internal Revenue Service. What does it look like when a client gets audited? What does it look like when we have shenanigans? And I'm going to use the word shenanigans. I just got off a call before I jumped on this session here, and a young lady did not remember what she reported to SBA for 2019, but she wanted to reapply for the second round. One lie leads to another lie. So if you tell the truth from the beginning, you ain't got to remember what you told them before. I know we all heard that, right? So be honest from the beginning. Okay, so I give you guys true scenarios of everything that I have experienced over my 20 years of being in this business. How to handle our clients. What documents do you need to have in place to prevent audits? What needs to be signed? How to handle pricing. All of those things I cover lightly in the training, but I also have a course where I go over all of this in full detail so that, as I like to say it, you don't get caught with your pants down. Okay. So the pricing, you guys, for those of you who are joining me on YouTube, and for those of you who are joining me here on the live on the Zoom, the pricing is $650 if you are in the state of California. All other states, it's $550. I want to make sure I got that right, because let me make sure my pricing is right, because I don't want to tell you guys one thing and then it's another. No, I'm sorry, it's $690. It's $690 for the state of California, and it's $550 for all other states. You are welcome to leave a deposit. The deposit is $149. That will reserve your spot. I literally, last year, I kid you guys not, I filled all seats, all butts in the seats were filled within the first 2 weeks that I opened session for this. So this is one of the reasons why I'm doing the meet and greet, so that you all can get the information. You can get a feel for who I am, because some of you have no clue who I am, my personality, if you can work with me, if you like me, you don't like me, all that good stuff. But I do these meet and greets so that you guys have an opportunity to ask questions, know what you're getting yourself involved with, understand if this is something for you, and make a decision if this is a business that you want to venture into. I've been doing it long enough to say it is a very lucrative business. I worked in corporate America, you all, and maintained this business for years. I used the income that I was making in this particular business to do my remodels and do some home repairs and travel and stuff with this money. But that got old. But I can tell you one thing, because I am a numbers girl and I track. I had got to a point where my income was stagnant, and I know that I needed to do something else. And that was another reason why I was like, let me leave corporate America and do this full time. So just to give you guys a number, every year in tax season, and I said I had got stagnant, but every year after I got this real good, I was making somewhere in the ballpark of about 67 to maybe 80K. If I exceeded 80K in a tax season, then I was doing pretty good. And hear me clearly, I was working a 9 to 5 and I was coming home and doing that. So that's pretty darn good to make that type of income while working full time on another job. And I had it set up such that I was working in the evening, but not every single evening. And I worked from home. So I would clock out of one job, so to speak, and come in and clock in another job. And was I tired during that time frame? Of course I was, because I was kicking my body in overtime, and I knew that it was a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain. Okay. So I say all of this to say, should you start your business? Heck yeah, you should start your business as a tax professional. It is lucrative. It can be a legacy that you can leave for your children to take over and your grandchildren to take over, just as long as you structure it as a business, put systems in place, put standard operational procedures in place. Don't think that you have to run this business by yourself. At some point, once you understand the ropes of the game, then you have to position yourself so that you bring on others that can help you. That's how you truly grow, scale, and leverage in this organization, or excuse me, in this business. Okay. So just a few other things. Let's see. I just want to make sure I cover all my notes. Some myths that I want you guys to understand. Do you need to be a CPA or have an accounting degree? I've already covered that. No, you do not need to be a CPA, have an accounting degree to sit here and do taxes. I told you, you need to be able to think. You need to be able to think. You need to be in a position to make sound judgments, to make decisions, to look at what's beneficial to your client, but making sure that everything is done ordinary and necessary, and to work ethically, have high morals, and great standards in order to do this business well. Is tax preparations for numbers people? No, it's not necessarily numbers, but if you know how to add, multiply, and divide, that's a good thing. But it is not solely for that mathematician, someone who can just think right off the, think really quickly. We asked my son, what's this? He can pop out a number and an answer to our question like that, because he's definitely a numbers guy. Okay. There's high income potential. I've already shared that with you. No joke. If you go through any of my social media pages, you will see I do exceed my 6K month. 6K, that's coming, my 6K month. But my 6K quarters, I exceed them because I work my business. Okay. Other things that you can do as you grow this business. You don't have to stay in taxes, you all. Once you get that under your belt, add additional streams of revenue. you know, so you see people have credit, you see people have insurance, financial service, capital loans and whatnot. There's a lot of different things, bookkeeping, tax planning, tax resolution. There's so many things that you can do besides taxes once the season kind of narrows down. I do taxes all year. I really, really do. I have like 7 out there on my other desk out there. Talked about the cost is minimal startup cost, your EFIN, your PTIN, your office supplies, your computer, internet, you know, all the basic things that you need for any business. Okay, your cell phone, your business cards, your website. And don't let any of that prevent you from moving forward. A cell phone, which we all have, business cards, don't worry. Website, don't let that prevent you from getting going in this industry. People will still come to you if you don't have a website, right? Fast ramp up time. And that's really it. So my checklist for all of you to get started is to enroll in your tax course. That's number one. Once you enroll, consider some other options that you could do with the Internal Revenue Service. I'm not going to give you guys everything, but what I am going to say, if you go to my social media page or if you follow me on Instagram, there's a link in my bio where you can capture or get a copy of the 15 steps to grow a tax firm. Okay, it's going to give you 15 steps, everything you need to do. And if you follow those 15 steps and you take the course, then I guarantee you will be successful in this business. One thing I want to leave you all with is nobody becomes an overnight success. No one makes $1 million overnight. Some do, but not in this business. Okay. But no one makes $1 million overnight. So I need for you guys to eliminate the misbelief or the hype, so to speak, that everybody makes $100,000 in this industry during tax season. Everybody don't do that, you guys. You have to crawl before you walk, and it's a buildup. I am not in no shape, form, or fashion saying that it can't happen. But look at me. I've been in the game for 20 years. I said I make 6-figure quarters. I didn't say that out the gate I was making 100K during taxes. It just didn't happen like that for me. It could happen for you, but you got to work your tail off. And if it's just you, it's going to take you a little longer. It takes a team of people, takes a team, it takes a village to raise a child, as they say, right? So step number 1 is to take the tax course. You got to take the tax course before you start thinking about anything else. Okay. Once you take that tax course, you finish that tax course, I'm going to show you how to market your business. I'm going to show you how to go out and start getting clients. You can start getting clients now. All you got to do is start telling folks you do taxes. You really don't even do them yet. You can tell them that you are taking a tax course. Whatever it looks like, whatever it sounds like to you, you can start promoting yourself. Okay. So I'm going to see, do you guys have any questions? Because I don't see any questions in the Q&A. So I'm going to assume that I'm doing a good job. Pat myself on the back. If you all have questions, I need for you to just put them in the chat right now so that I can address whatever questions that you may have for me before we jump off of here. I want to make sure that I covered everything under the sun for you guys. And if I didn't, now's the time to ask your questions. Okay. Going once, going twice. Okay, so no one put any questions in there. So let me share this with you guys. To register for the course, all you need to do is go to bit.ly, bit.ly. And I'm gonna, one second, I'm gonna get to your question. So here's the link, bit.ly /IRS dot, I can't even think, IRS tax course. So it is case sensitive. So it is IRS capital I, capital R, capital T, IRS tax course. Okay, so let me see. What is the time for the classes? Okay, that is such a good question. What time are the classes? Believe it or not, I have not actually set a time. I believe I'm going to do 4:30 Pacific Standard Time because that's when I do most of my webinars and everything at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time. I haven't selected the date. It will probably be on Tuesday or Thursday. Tuesday or Thursday at 4:30. I already have another class that I teach every Wednesday and Monday. Okay, so let's just get that out the way. It'll be Tuesday or Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Classes go for about an hour and a half at the most. Sometimes I've gone 2 hours. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, but it depends on what we're focusing on and what we're talking about. But I promise you, you can ask any of the students that registered for my class last summer or the previous summer, was it worth your investment? And that's what's important. Do you walk away feeling knowledgeable to do a return? You know, I'm gonna be honest, like every single student who leaves me, they're afraid to do their very first return, their second return, their third return. Why? Because they have in the back of their mind, like, got to get this right. I don't want to mess them up. Am I getting them back all of their money? They get paid too much. I don't want them to be audited. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay that fear sets in initially. But listen, y'all, I don't want fear to keep y'all to your seat and you don't move. Fear is merely false evidence appearing to be real. So Tuesday or Thursday for Miss Lawrence, and at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time. So we'll talk about tax software once we get through the course, but every professional will need to have tax software. You can't be doing taxes on TurboTax and all that kind of stuff. That's foolishness. But we do talk about that. If you want, Miss Lawrence, you can set up a separate call. We can go over some of your options for software because there are plenty of options out there, and it really depends on your specific needs. It depends on how many returns you're going to process that first year, second year, third year, so on and so forth. So I don't want to just give like a blanket answer because there's a lot to it. Okay. So I do teach advanced courses. I teach on corporate returns. I teach on marketing. And I also have another program that I offer where I keep students for 4 months and we go through everything they need to grow and scale their organization. We talk about laying a foundation. We talk about onboarding clients, offboarding clients. We talk about how to market our business. We talk about how do we grow a team? How do we utilize social media as a way to grow using organic clients? So that's a program. That's a 4-month program. And so there is advanced training all the way around. I don't leave you guys just hanging. You took the class, bye-bye. No, that's not me. I will set you up for success in every which way that I possibly can. But I am that teacher. I am that instructor, that educator, that like when I throw the ball your way, I'm gonna wait for you to throw it back. I'm not gonna keep throwing the ball in your court and you don't throw it back. It's like it's a game. We are partners here. If we playing basketball and I shoot, I'm ready for you to throw it back at me. If you don't throw it back at me, then we're not playing a game, right? It's one-sided. It has to be a joint effort. As long as I see that my students are putting in the effort and they want to move, they want to progress, I give you guys more than you pay for. But if you stop playing ball and you sitting on the sidelines and you complaining, I'm gonna sit myself on the sideline and I'm gonna work with these over here that really want to work and really want to grow and excel. Okay, you guys have heard it. When the student shows up, the teacher is always there. That's me. Okay. All right, you're ready, excited and ready. So I cannot see the names of who's in here. I really can't. I don't know why I can't today. But if you all have questions, feel free to message me. Feel free to shoot me an email. You know, I'm on all social media platforms at Cozette M. White. That's Cozette M. White. I'm on YouTube as Dr. Cozette M. White. To register, all you need to do is go to bit.ly/IRS tax capital T, the IRS, they're all capital because everything is case sensitive, tax, and then course. So IRS tax course. All right. So I want to go through these questions again because I have people over here on YouTube. I want to make sure that they know the questions. It was what time does the class start? And when is the class pretty much? The class starts July 26th. That's the week that it starts. Classes will be either Tuesday or Thursday at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time. We're going to talk about tax software. We're going to talk about marketing midway into the course so that if that's something that you all need, you want, I have those classes available to you and you can take those courses. Okay. Will there be advanced courses? Of course, there's advanced courses. There's a program that I teach. Okay. What other questions before we bring this to a closure? Any other questions? Like I said, I don't know why I can't see all the participants, but that's okay. So with that being said, I look forward to seeing all of you in the tax class that starts July 26th, the week of July 26th. It is a 10-week course. Registration is open. You can reserve your spot today. All you need to do is head over to bit.ly/IRS tax course, case sensitive. IRS is capital letters, the T is capital, and course, the C in course is capital. All right. In the meantime, you guys have yourself an awesome and amazing day. I appreciate you all for taking time to join me on this meet and greet to learn more about how you can start a career as a tax professional. What does it look like to take the course? What are the requirements? And what happens after you take the course? So I'm extremely excited for you guys, and I can't wait to see you at the top. All right, you guys have a beautiful evening. Take care.